Hi everyone. So now we have Vikas Singh he's the CEO of Bloque. Vikas and I go way back to 2016, and it has been a great journey seeing him grow for so many years. And yeah, Vikas, please take it forward. He'll be speaking about taking on DeFi, building up upon what Abhishek has left on. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Anupam. Thanks a lot. And again, it's an amazing session that we have entered again in the second version of the Metamorphosis. And thank you, guys. What I'm going to build upon is what just Abhishek mentioned and Carl Lines mentioned from last house. I'm attending to all of those talks, amazing discussions. So what I'll do now, I'll share my screen and I'll start my session. I hope that everyone can see my screen. It's working. Can I get a thumbs up? Is it working fine, guys? For you? Awesome. Oh, no. So let me just, can't see. Let me do that again. Otherwise, I'll just download this session, download the slides, and I'll share this with you. Okay, perfect. I can see that it's now shared. Right. So, guys, what I'm going to help you understand is this. Again, the topic is just what have been discussed by Abhishek and Karl-Heinz, and I'll help you understand the holistic view of DeFi. And first, I will try to help you understand in what contrast this DeFi protocol has been built, essentially. So we'll go with the topics. So this is what I'm going to discuss. First, we'll discuss the nemesis of the DeFi is CeFi, centralized finance, and then DeFi, and then the tools, which we generally call money Legos, and a few amazing use cases, which helping a lot of, which is making not just the developers but the general public excited about it. But on a contrary, we should always be wary about the rough edges that this, as speakers before me have already mentioned quite a few number of times, that this is a area where we have to be very meticulous. We should always be treading the path which we are very sure, so we can always pick and choose which path to take. But definitely this is one of the exciting paths where many people are paying attention. And lastly, we'll take questions if there will be any. So let's start. So centralized finance, how do we call that? Give me all those fixed deposit and the recurring deposits. Why we say so? Because all these financial products that you have seen since the day you were born, you see all these products coming from your banks. Stable products. Like why did I add stable? Because that's where your parents have always been 100% sure about. Guys, do not put money here and there. It's better to put it into FD, or better to put it use it into some PPF account and XYZ, especially in the case of India. But there are other developed countries where anyway the interest rates are going down to the level that there are no interest from the government side to take up your money and build anything on top of that. That's why they are not interested in taking up your money. That's why interest rates are zero or negative as well. So we are in that stage, because these are the few tools that centralized finance or the banks generally have. The interest rates that they can keep on decreasing slowly and gradually, and the other one is inflation. But other than that, these are the products which we are very much and now these are stable products from banks. Like everybody understand, they can lend money to bank, they will give you some the fixed deposit and the RDs, and then you can always borrow money. There are some derivatives, forex exchanges, like you can exploit. You directly cannot exploit, but you can always work with bank, and they can always give you some instruments by which you can hedge these or you can fulfill these arbitrage opportunity into which exist in the market. And there are a few other products which we cannot discuss. Like the list is pretty big, but essentially the banks have been holding to the decisive power, that whether they want to introduce another one financial product in the market or not. But against this, I guess there is some some interest that came out in the market. And as Abhishek was mentioning in the Google trends, that this term is picking up lately in the 2020 very, very specifically. Why? Because this is something which is now poised to become, or it has, this technology is now primed to become what can be the technology for the next 5 years. Reason for that, because I'll discuss the reasons. But let's now, what can I say about decentralized finance? Can I trust the trustless smart contracts that are deployed onto the blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, and other blockchains that are there? And on Bitcoin also, the Lightning Network has currently, as mentioned by my previous speakers also, like this is the first use case of the DeFi, but majority of the DeFi protocols have been exploited, or use cases has been exploited on Ethereum blockchain. So now I call it democratized financial supremacy. Why I say so? Because now I do not have any. I can say that I do not have to go in front of any bodies, and I have to ask them, hey guys, that this is what I am having. Can I introduce this financial product? Even if they would like it, they would do it by their name. But here in this world, if you understand the protocol correctly, if you understand the economic incentives around it correctly, you can actually come up with your own idea, which can, if it has the incentives aligned properly, it can take off really, really well. There is the recent protocol development in the decentralized finance space has shown that thing. And this eventually, what makes sense for the common person is this, that your product will be accessed immediately by anyone in the whole world, whoever has mobile phone, whoever has internet connection. Because we are not discrediting anyone to not to take part in the growing economic world that is building around these products. We can build highly subsidized cross-border payments using DeFi, because it is going to, and cost is not just in terms of direct fiat or something, but cost in terms of times as well. Earlier they used to take T+5, then they reduced to T+4, then it comes to T+1 and T+3, and then T+2, and now they are again considering that what they can do about it. Do they have to go back to T+3? So all these things are important to understand, like what we can do with the DeFi space. And since it is directly being used from your wallet, you can always be sure about the privacy and the security. They all use non-custodial wallets. Majority of the products use non-custodial wallets, so nothing is going to move out of your wallet unless you deliberately want that thing to happen. And all of these are happening at a fraction of the cost of the CeFi. And why am I saying this? I'll give you my personal example. I was in 2017. I was giving a training to few customers in Singapore. They pay me via PayPal. My almost 8% money got deducted in PayPal, plus the time that it took for me to get the money remitted in my bank account. Like, it was actual pain, because it took around 8 days to reach for that money to come down in my bank. But again, I'm telling you the experience. After a year and a half, again I was giving my services to someone in Singapore, and then the money came in 3 days. That's the improvement that I myself have seen. But this time, this was bank to bank account. Earlier that time, I was I was not having a bank account, but it was my personal account. But second time, it was my company which was giving this services. So what is happening here? We are seeing few improvement from the centralized finance systems as well, but DeFi is growing at a breakneck speed. That's the power of this system. And I want to show you some protocols that is helping these things to be built. And I can comfortably say now that DeFi was not able to get to this level without these shoulder of giants that we have now. And the shoulder of giants, I can simply say that the Ethereum blockchain and the products built on top of Ethereum blockchain has been the core fundamental building blocks, which has helped now to give us the solutions like Aave, Maker, Curve Finance. Aave is another protocol which is helping a lot of people to do lending and borrowing. MakerDAO, Maker, this is again something which we can discuss. Curve Finance, all of these top 3 and top 4. I would call about Synthetics. Synthetics is actually helping people to create their own synthetic assets on top of the blockchain. If let's say Vikas Singh thinks that my phone can be a very, very good asset in a digital world, so what I can do, I can collateralize a new idea using my existing digital asset and create the new digital version of digital twin of my mobile phone and sell it. And I will, if my network will have enough strength, then that network will create some network effect and will generate value for that ecosystem. So synthetics can be used for anything. So synthetic USD is a direct competitor to MakerDAO's DAIs. So similarly, Uniswap is an exchange, beautiful protocol. It has got amazing liquidity on this platform, even though it's a DEX, somehow centralized, but still it has got amazing liquidity. And this is a one sort of a category which DeFi, because of DeFi we are able to exploit. So DEX again is called decentralized exchanges. This is not new. This has been there from some time, but earlier it was Uniswap added some amazing protocol level improvement so that they can provide immediate liquidity to any new coins as well. So, and I will now show you some. This is something we have to take with a pinch of salt. You can see from the June or July onwards, from $1 billion it has reached to approx $8 billion. And guys, this is where now we have to start applying a little bit of knowledge as well. Even though this curve is going haywire, we also have to give it to some speculative thing as well. So always have to be sure that we are not buying into the FOMO as well. We have to be very, very careful. But this is the exact picture of the DeFi space as of now. People are bullish. The curve is showing that. Interest is showing that. And we are also facing some issues, which I'll discuss again. And now I will talk about these Legos, because of which we are able to create these kind of thing. And this is what the ecosystem looks like. If you have any idea which is related to finance and can be coded using smart contracts, I think you should do it. If you have a new token, you can directly you can list it on Uniswap. If you got any arbitrage opportunity, flash loans are your way to go. And how all of these things are building on top of it. This is in the bottom. This is again Ethereum. Here in between of that, there are few solutions which is helping you to convert your Ethereum with something else and leverage those things. Here we have like MakerDAO. This is a very famous one, 2015 project, 15-16 project, amazing project. These are new as a bank, DYDX, Compound. And once we have some ethers logged in the DeFi space, we can use Uniswap to exchange. We can consume Chainlink's Oracle services. We can use we can assign our ethers logged, and we can assign it to the liquidity pools provided by Kyber network. The synthetics, all these protocols are built on top of this application layer. And once these are done, we can start developing on all our applications, like InstaDapp, pretty famous, Argent, pretty famous, SpankChain, pretty famous. All these things are going to help the end customers to do just one API call behind the scene, and it will just start, let's say, you can say there can be a simple button which will help you to exploit the arbitrage opportunity, and there will be few calls on the Uniswap, and those arbitrage opportunities will be exploited, and you will make money in those. So all of these things we are now able to do it because there are now money Legos are in place. Few opportunities or cases that I wanted to discuss. I couldn't find the screenshot of that, but I am in the gist. I want to tell you this. Specifically, developers as of now are able to exploit these opportunities, but sooner or later, in some time, I guess developers will pass on, like InstaDapp, the way InstaDapp works. These protocols will allow a normal user to exploit these opportunity and make money, and these protocol creators will take few fees, and they can do that because every time you exploit any opportunity, you are responsible for paying fees. So one use case which I wanted to discuss is called flash loans. in flash loans, what you have to do is borrow money in form of a loan from liquidity pool. Liquidity pool is like money where everybody submit their money and then they can exchange. The second step in the flash loan is you can exploit any arbitrage opportunity that you see. Let's say, what do I mean by arbitrage opportunity? Let's say if you see one ether is giving 10 cents or 10 units of something, and on the other platform one ether is giving 9 units of something, you can do, you can buy it, 1 ether of 10 units, and go there and then sell the 10 units and get 10% of the benefit, and again pay that loan, or you can say initial whatever that money that you borrow, and pay a small fee, and you can get the 8 to 9% in the whole process. So, but doing all of it manually can sometimes be really, really daunting, because you have to sit in front of your laptop. It's not for traders, because traders anyway sit in front of their laptop, or they have put their bots in place. So bots are the much more efficient version of exploiting these kind of opportunities. Manually exploiting can be really, really hard. It is actually daunting. The rough cases, which I wanna tell you, because there was always some bumps in the road. These are the three I'm just discussing, but this array, if I would start doing it, because it will just flow up. So BZRX has been exploited by a flash attack. They got not scammed, but yeah, they $1 million worth of USD worth of cryptocurrency was at stake. Similar thing has happened on Uniswap protocol with the IMBTC pool. 300K was at risk. And there was another risk, another issue that has happened with lendf.me, and approx 25 million worth of cryptocurrency was exploited. So that's how I really want to give you the holistic perspective. Now, if you guys have any questions, then it's great. I guess I'm done.
Hey Vikas, thank you for the session, man.
Thank you.
So there's a question, I think it's from Telegram. In your view, how correlated are ETH locked in DeFi versus ETH value?
Okay, so whenever we are locking any currency, so what happens actually, we somehow taking out that from a supply, active supply, and just locking it somewhere. So what the other people now left with the remaining supply in the outside world. So of course they would, and once you lock your ether in DeFi, it starts churning money for you. So now more people, the way people understand it, hey, if I have 1 ether, I can make, let's say 10 tokens of this thing because anyway my ethers would have been just in that wallet. So what I'm trying to tell you here is this: the moment you lock your ETH in a DeFi protocol, any protocol, you create some sort of a supply crunch, and any supply crunch will eventually push the prices up. So yes, it is correlated.
Yeah, makes sense. So I want to get your opinion also on blockchain.com's 12% interest rate versus banks giving 6% in the traditional finance. Is that possible? And I would like to know if they're doing, how are they doing it?
So just a couple of days back, I was just having a word with my fellow, one of the fellow person who has just built their solution on Matic. So I was just discussing all of the same thing. That is it somehow like a Ponzi, or somehow it's a Russian doll or something? Because I have my own limited views on top of it. But eventually, what I found is this: every token is somehow providing you some utility. Right. And now, after providing individually those utility, now these are somehow interlinking. How are you interlinking? Let's say if you lend money, if you assign your own idle money into a liquidity pool, you will start earning interest. And how do you earn interest? Because whoever is providing you, interest, they are somehow running an exchange also. Let's talk about Aave. Aave, if it is giving, you are assigning your money into, or call it Uniswap, you are putting your money in liquidity pool. So Uniswap also have an exchange. So whoever use that exchange, Uniswap, they pay a very small fee, and the all of the money that they collect as a fee, then they eventually use some percentage of the collected fee as a daily disbursement to the people who have contributed to the liquidity pool, right? So that's how your money actually is now rotating. It has started rotating now in the crypto space itself. Earlier we were not seeing that. Like earlier, if I have taken my BTC, I'll keep it somewhere safe and I will not tell anyone that I own BTC. But now what I can do, I can start staking that money, or I can start supporting a liquidity pool with my liquidity and start earning from that liquidity pool. So now it has somehow started to create some economic activity which is releasing money. Now coming back to the numbers, so numbers are speculative though.
Yeah.
Like 100% APY, 100% APR, or 80% APR. So these will find. So it's like hot and cold relationship. If you put two glasses of water, one is hot, one is hot, one is cold, due to the laws of thermodynamics, it will settle down to either the temperature of the room or the equilibrium temperature that they can find. So right now, centralized bank is giving you, let's say, 4%, and this is giving 12%. Somehow laws of finance dynamics will come, and it has to settle down close to that. Because banks would, why would not bank try to, if let's say bank are not able to generate money, that's why they are not giving you effective, let's say, 10% of money. But let's say if this DeFi will start, so this is I'm just saying in short, this is an arbitrage opportunity for banks with a shit lot of money. They can exploit it as well, and they can also bring down this liquidity, the crazy percentage that they are getting, into a normal percentage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the interest rate in traditional finance, how it works is like they also take your money, but they use it for some of their purposes to reloan it to other people, and somehow they give you interest on that. My internet. Hey, Vikas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So next question would be: is DeFi the next smart contracts of blockchain in terms of how it is influencing the industry, or is it the next ICO of the blockchain?
Oh yes, this is a very amazing question, because generally Abhishek also touched base on this, but I want to tell you like this: if I were to compare this season versus the ICO of 2017 years, so I would say if I were to say that ICO to scam ICO, it was much more easy, but this time DeFi, it's not easy, even though it's more complex. So it will take some time for people to understand. But the circle, because it's technically a little bit much more challenging than the ICO. In ICO, it was any ERC20 token can be. So we remember like there was a token like waste token or something. That guy, the owner of the token, actually named it that it doesn't have any utility, don't buy it. But still 50,000 worth of USD was invested in that. This guy just to create that point that still see the euphoria. So the circle is much bigger than the ICO one, but the scam level can be a little bit less. But given the complexity of the DeFi, it may take a lot of people some time. Like I will just give you one example. Like recently, a person on Twitter mentioned that the Curve Finance, the way Curve Finance is actually using the game theory and the financial incentive, it's like a case where if I put a game, let's say I and Anupam are playing a game, or we are betting against one thing, and that the person who has created this game is saying this thing: whoever wins, he will get, let's say, all the money. But all the bidders, remaining of the bidders, will have to pay all of that money to me, something like that. So eventually what is happening, everybody wants to be the top. So what is happening, like if I am putting, hey guys, this is $1 of bill, and if you have to get it as a prize, you have to bid as high as possible. Whoever bid the highest will get this $1, but remaining of the people will actually have to submit all of their bids. So what is happening here eventually? So it's a normal function, mathematical function, that people end up paying $3 for that $1 bill. So I'm not saying actually $1 thing, but all I'm saying, the kind of game theory can be built around a token where people would eventually pay a lot more than the token's intrinsic value itself. So game theory is very hard to understand because very few people understand it really well. and very few people can actually explain it in a simpler terms. So what is happening? Complexity is much more higher. Scam can be little bit less, but the volume of the value that is logged into that, because we saw the YAM token thing which happened recently. So kind of we are going into a bubble, but this is again a bubble that we cannot escape. Every technology goes through that true or disillusionment. So let's see.
I thought one was enough.
No, it cannot happen, because as long as we have smart people, they will keep on developing and building all of these things. Finance has been a very it's an area where a lot of improvement was needed. Maybe the one area which I personally look forward to is like what new financial products that we can see, because right now, till now, all the protocol has been just giving the same product which we are comfortable: lending, borrowing, derivatives, all of these things which are an option, decentralized future and options. These are the similar products which was there on banking. So now we just ported those products onto the decentralized finance. But now what? I'm looking forward to those. Can we create something which is never thought of by banks itself? I think that will be something
interesting. Yeah. Great, Vikas. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for the time.
You're welcome.
It was great having you, man. Thanks.
Thank you
Once again. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks.